back to the charts for Big Boss Crypto. Today we're gonna talk about if it is a good time to invest in Bitcoin right now, or are we gonna wait for another retrace before we jump right in and fill our bags. Well, let's look at the charts. Yeah, today I'm not gonna give you a day trading analysis. I'm gonna do that on Thursday. I'm gonna talk to you about the market moves we've seen over the past few weeks. I want to start off with giving you the market maker structure, which usually looks something like this: a W bottom, first leg up, first retrace, second leg up, second retrace, and then we top out in an M formation like this, and price reverses in 3 steps with retraces, and it usually bottoms out with a W bottom like that. So if we take a look at the previous cycle, the previous bull market basically, we formed the top at around 20k. We then moved down, all the way down to 3k on December 18th approximately. And we had a quite aggressive climb up from December 18th to June 19th. So approximately 6 months until we got to 14k. After that we had a drop down to 3.7k again. And to me it looks like this is pretty clear W bottom. And we are currently waiting for that this time as well. What happened next? Well, we had a first leg up, we had a first retrace, we had an aggressive second leg up and a retrace, and we topped out in a double top formation. It wasn't a regular double top formation, which usually looks something like this, with the second high lower than the first high. That's usually what the old market makers have told the public, that usually is the case. And a lot of people were bullish when we were at 69k and thought that we were going to 100k because we broke our previous high. That's usually an old theory that the market maker put out to the public so they could trap more retail traders. So what happened next? We had our double top formation like this, and we had a retrace, we had a first drop, we had a second retrace, and as I said when we were right here around 17k, that if we break this low we will be in a third and final leg down. So go back to our videos around September, October, when I told you that this was the last leg down, and we gone down to approximately 15.5k. However, we moved away from here aggressively and we are currently at 30k. So what needs to happen in order for us to move out of this zone? Well, we will have another retrace. That's just the name of the game. That's how the market maker operates. And if we are gonna have a W bottom, we should not break this low right here at 15.5k. We should stay above it or just at it in order for us to solidify a bottom, and then we could move out of here in the same manner we done last time, up to 100k approximately or even higher. Something that I'm concerned about is that the third legs of this market maker move on every time frame is usually more aggressive. It's the most aggressive part to trap a lot of retail traders going short. So it's usually the steepest and the longest leg out of all the moves. Yet we didn't have that. The previous low was at 18k and we went down to 15.5k. A 2k drop, not as aggressive as it usually should be, as you saw right here in 2018. Look how steep this was. It was a 4-week move big red candles trapping retail traders, and they moved away from there quickly, and then they formed this W bottom in a year approximately. We haven't seen that yet, which makes me wonder that we are still possibly waiting for the third leg down, and this is just the second retrace, so something like this could be happening, that this is the second leg down and we are waiting for the third and final leg down, which will make capo trading be right, and everybody else are gonna cry and say that they were wrong. So this is some scenario that could be happening. We could move down, even down to 8k, and we could form our double bottom formation right there. However, to answer the question if this is a good time to invest or not, this is not financial advice. I do want to be clear. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes only. Whichever scenario you like, if you like this scenario, or you are more keen on the first scenario I gave you, which is that 15.5k was the low, and that we are currently in a double bottom formation of some kind. We are waiting for a drop down. Nevertheless, no matter which team you're on, we are currently waiting for a W bottom. We haven't got that yet. We are currently waiting for that. So in the next 6 months, we will see what will happen. We have a lot of volume candles in these zones. I've drawn enough for you. So we could move even higher. We have a volume candle right here, 32 to 34k. So something to look out for at this moment. If we take a look at the current news events, we have the CPI numbers coming out tomorrow. Big day. And the pump we saw yesterday could be in preparation of that. This is just small news events, in my opinion. The next big one in terms of investing, if you're day trading, this news event is very important. But the next big news event, which is gonna rock the market, is the FOMC statement on Wednesday, May 3rd. We will have the federal funds rate coming out, and we are currently projecting, or the market is expecting a 25%, 0.25% basis rate hike. And yeah, after that, the market expects a pause. And the next one will be in June 14th. And that is where the market expects a pause, or even possibly a pivot. Something to look out for these federal funds rates events. So next one is on May 3rd, and after that we have June 14th, which is a big day for the markets in general. Looking at the liquidation map, I've zoomed it out as much as I can, and if you like semi-close your eyes, you can see where the largest candles are and where it's most concentrated. It is more concentrated to the downside. As you can see, we have a big cluster here at 40k, a big cluster at 37, and at 34k. But there is more liquidation points to the downside and more money for the market maker to grab to the downside. So that gives me more confidence to a retrace scenario to this zone all the way down to 20k at least. So wait for a drop down or do whatever you want to do. This is not financial advice. Another big thing to look out for is the DXY, the dollar strength. Bitcoin is traded against the dollar, and if we take a look at DXY, it has been performing quite interesting. I mean, you see it quite clearly what this is, what kind of structure this is. I'm not going to draw out the last part because yeah, you clearly see what it is. However, we have not formed it yet. The W bottom If we do that, and if the dollar moves higher, it will be a very bearish for assets. However, we have not confirmed a double bottom scenario. We need to break this line right here, this high at 105.48. Break that with a solid daily candle above it. We could move all the way up to at least 114 for DXY, because that is where we have a volume candle and a lot of unfilled orders. We could move even higher than that. That would be up in the 120, 130 zones. Pretty interesting to see what the DXY does. If we close below this low right here at, let me draw it out for you exactly, at 100. If the DXY closes a daily candle below 100 and stays below it, we could move down to the next target at 97. Break that, we could not move down to 94 or even 90. But let's also draw out what kind of structure we have on the daily time frame here, or on the weekly, doesn't matter. If you're a long-term investor, you look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly time frame. We had somewhat of a double top formation right here of some kind. We broke it right here at 109. We moved away from here. We had our first retrace, in my opinion. We had our second leg down. We had a retrace, and we had a third and final leg down, which was aggressive. You see big red candles happen pretty quickly. Took them about a couple of days and weeks. We moved aggressively from here, formed a high, moved down again, and we are currently waiting for the next move. Is it going to continue even lower, or are we going to form the double bottom formation? It is a pretty big one. We could move up, to 110 before we have our next retrace. If this plays out and we close above this line right here, we'll have a retrace down, and then we could move aggressively up to the upside and form a double top formation around the 120 zone. This is something I'm looking at least. This would mean a retrace for Bitcoin and crypto in general if this plays out for the DXY. And yeah, we just have to wait and see. We're gonna get some answers at the next federal meeting, FOMC meeting, or possibly even to the one in June. That is where we're definitely gonna have the answer. If we're gonna move higher, we will have a retrace. And yeah, let's wait and see. That's at least what I'm looking at right now. Not financial advice. And I hope you learned something today. And if you like and subscribe to our channel. That's it for me. Big Boss out.